Okay, still in Boise, we are at the Old Penitentiary. We don't know what that means yet. We've heard several people tell us this is a place to come here in Boise, so we're going to go take a look and show you what we find.
Yeah, it's interesting story. It's some woman prison and story why they got in prison. So maybe Terry will tell us couple stories. But we're going to check the place. We like to new places to go and see.
Yeah, let's go find out.
Yes.
Going to prison.
Terry is going to prison just for visit.
So in here they've got some stories about people that were in the penitentiary. This poor guy, they took pictures of him with his hair and with him shaved. He spent 2 years in here starting in 1928 because he had alcohol on him. Must have been during Prohibition. The story of being in prison in Idaho. In 1918, they only had 236 people incarcerated. 7 of them were women, all the rest were men. 1968, they only had 367 incarcerated. That meant 9 women, 358 men. And now you get to 2018, there's almost 8,500 people in prison, over 1,000 women. There were many stories about criminals, but some of them were too vile to talk about here. This guy happened to shoot 2 policemen, killing one, paralyzing another, and they ended up using a tank to stop him. Here they showed they had inmates from all 50 states. This gentleman was in prison because in 1917 he advised people to cut logs shorter than what they had been contracted to cut. And this guy was put in prison because he introduced alcohol to Indian country. There were a lot of buildings here at the prison, and you could walk the prison yard and just kind of keep going. Here we got to see an old laundry that was built in 1923, and it was used to launder all the clothes for the prisoners, and I'm sure they worked here, but big machines. Part of the museum was this weapons exhibit. They had weapons that going way back, and a lot of them. They had pistols, machine guns, rifles, almost like cannons, things like that. It was pretty interesting, all in its own right. A little bit separate from the prison. Not exactly sure how it all connected, but it was interesting.
what this is about? That you tried to tell me about this?
It's got a history of its own,
Wow.
and it's set in storage probably for almost 50 years. And when we got it up here, thanks to Mr. Earl, they took it out here to the Army base and loaded it up, and it worked just fine.
Wow.
Never missed a beat. Quite a weapon.
Wow. That's
One of the
interesting.
best looking Gatling guns you'll ever see in your life.
That's
Probably
pretty.
worth $50,000-$60,000 or more, 100,000. There's not a lot of them around anymore. We're lucky we have one.
This is a very heavy weapons, and it has to be like few horses try to carry them. Like, see all these horses just to try to carry that baby. Crime doesn't pay.
These were the standards in 1953, or it was built in 1953. They got the toilet and sink, and then you had your 4 cots.
I will not survive here, I know for sure. Like privacy.
These are a collection of weapons they confiscated from prisoners here at in the prison yard. Yikes. Speaking about weapons in the prison, this guy kept his spoon the first day he ever got one and didn't give it up for 7 months, so he never had another spoon to use while he was in there. And he had to give it up on the day that he left prison, but he kept it for protection during the time he was there. This is the women's prison. They had a lady, they have a story of a famous lady that used to meet and marry men, and she was convicted of killing 4 of them by baking them apple pies with arsenic in them. And so she spent, I think, 19 years here, something like that, but anyway, for killing 4 husbands.
Oh, 4 husbands.
Yeah. This is a lady that had a habit of baking arsenic apple pies for her 4 husbands that she killed. Here's another picture of the same serial killer. Besides her 4 husbands that she killed for their insurance money, she's also suspected of killing her young daughter and her brother-in-law for the same purposes. Baking arsenic apple. Crime doesn't pay, right?
Yes.
Well, that was an interesting place, but now it's time to head on down the road and see what kind of adventure we find next. Hope you join us for the next video.